you think free speech is in danger?
Yes, to a degree. I think that with freedom of speech and the First Amendment in particular, the ones who would be threatening it would be the ones currently in power right now that have the majority in the Senate and the House. And I think lately with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing that's been going on and using the FCC to leverage their way and try and taint what they're trying to say, I just don't think that should be a thing. And I think it's very wrong to leverage a government body in that way.
How has this current state of free speech affected you?
I feel like it's affected me in a lot of different ways. It felt like just a few years ago that this group of people were like, this other group of people are too sensitive, and now it feels like they kind of just flip-flopped, and it feels like there's no like middle ground to where we could all just kind of, you know, express what we believe without it being either radicalized or it being put down as something that shouldn't be spoken. You know, I believe that even if you disagree with it, everyone should be allowed to speak their opinion and to be kind of censored by the public, regardless of what that is. If it's not causing any harm or spreading any hate, I don't see why it's being as, I don't know, just as radicalized as it is, even with beliefs that aren't radical. It's been wild. It's been a wild year, and I'm really nervous to see how free speech is affected in the coming months.
What narratives do you see in the media that need to change?
I think narratives that I see in the media, I don't know, people tend to frame things in a very objective kind of sense, even though it's not really, you know, like everybody has some kind of narrative, everybody has some kind of agenda that they're going to, but to frame it as something that's objective, I think is very dishonest. And, you know, just going with this idea of, oh, we're just asking questions here, for example. I mean, are you asking questions, or are you, like, leading people with these questions to certain conclusions that might skew one way or the other in terms of the way that they're being framed?
What barriers still exist for women entering and advancing in male-dominated fields?
I would say there's lack of role models for one, so we don't get to see a bunch, so we're not inspired as much. And then also just the pay equality, it's not equal still. So men get paid a lot more due to that. And as women, we take a step back and it's like, okay, well that's not fair. So I don't even want to go into that field. Don't even want to try it. So
What are you worried about when it comes to your First Amendment rights?
I'm worried about how the people around us are defining our First Amendment rights. Because I feel like as time goes by, it becomes more of a word of mouth type of thing. People are not actually reading the First Amendment, or people are not actually interpreting it in an actual educational way. They're just listening to what the other person said and how it's supposed to be interpreted, and they're just taking it as fact. And as time goes by, it becomes more of a word of mouth type of thing and not a written type of thing. And the actual definition, the actual meaning is going to get lost to a point where the First Amendment, people are going to believe that it doesn't really exist, or it's not even really in effect. What it really is, it's just that the people around have lost the actual definition, the actual, weight of the words through it. But yeah.